Happy December, Western Placer staff and families. Did you know that December 2nd was National Special Education Awareness Day? So I thought who better to invite to join me for this month's newsletter video than Ellie Martinez, our Director of Special Education. Welcome, Ellie.
Hello.
All right, thank you for being here. So Ellie, anyone who's had the opportunity to listen to you speak or to engage with you about students knows that you are extremely passionate about inclusion and ensuring that all students receive the supports that they need to excel academically and social emotionally. Why is inclusion so important to you?
I think what we know about inclusion and inclusive environments for kids with disabilities is that time and time again, what we find is that long-term outcomes are just better for kids with learning disabilities when they are in an inclusive environment in comparison to when they're in a special ed environment. I think what's so great about all kids is that when you raise the bar, kids meet it, and I think that that applies to kids with disabilities, and so inclusion is just super important to myself, and it's a message that I strive really, really hard to maintain, just to allow kids with disabilities to have the same high-level opportunities as their gen ed counterparts.
Mm-hmm. So as a parent of a special needs child myself, Ellie, you've been really wonderful at supporting me in kind of navigating learning about his disabilities and best ways to support him. And there's a lot of things that I didn't know. And even as somebody who's been in education for a long time, not specializing in special education, there's just lots of things that you don't understand. And then certainly as a parent, it's even more daunting, but you have really been amazing at supporting me as I've navigated that, and I'm so grateful for you for that, and I know you've done that for a lot of families and our staff in the district. What would you say is one of the greatest misconceptions that you come across when you're working with staff or families as it relates to students with disabilities?
The biggest and greatest misconception is that kids with disabilities can't do something, as opposed to them being able to do it, but it just needing to look a little bit different. I think it would be a great place for us as just a society for us to change that line of thinking away from kids can't do it, and shift that to us as the adults at the table having more thoughtful conversations about the way we need to change how we provide instruction, how we expect things from students, to just allow them to show that they can.
So you have staff and families as a captive audience at this moment. If there was a final thought that you could leave them with as it relates to students with disabilities, and maybe some advice for how they can effectively navigate the challenges that students might be facing together, what would it be?
I think navigating the process of special education, particularly with IEPs, it's really, really hard, and it's long, and it's complicated, and can have a lot of conflict. And I think the greatest asset for all kids, but particularly students with disabilities, is that we always maintain a collaborative relationship between school and home. The more we can work together to solve these hard problems, the better the outcomes will be for students. Mm-hmm. So while we work through these hard things, striving for that goal while keeping in mind that kids will always rise to the occasion and the opportunities we allow for them, I think that would be the greatest thing that we could do for our kids.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being with me today on this newsletter. I want to wish everyone an incredible holiday season and a happy new year. It's hard to believe that we're going to be a quarter of a century over, coming in just a month closely. And I hope that everyone enjoys lots of family and friend time and relaxation as the year comes to an end.